Generic greetings and welcome back once again to Kingdoms and Castles. Today's beverage is a very nice Winter Wonderland coffee, essentially coffee mixed with almond and various spices. So welcome to Generyville, the dignified kingdom. In the previous episode, we built essentially this housing district here and got over 2,000 inhabitants, which is quite nice, and also we're kicking it off with violence early as the dragon is heading towards us. In fact, it's heading straight towards Bastion Outcropping or Bastion Island, where it won't have a very good time. In fact, to be honest, I don't think it's going to even get anywhere near. I'm going to guesstimate it's going to fall out the sky around about where the mouse is now. In fact, I think that's even giving the dragon a little bit more credit than perhaps it should have, because all of these arrows... Oh no, it was pretty much where I had it pointed. Yep, there's the dragon dead. Anyway, so in this episode, this is going to be pretty much the last episode of the series, or at least the last planned episode, because we've got a couple of odds and ends to do. So there's areas around here, and just random spaces where we want to put something in. I'm not going to clear the forest off, that is not my intention, but I do want to go ahead and just finalize some of these things. So it does say the taverns are too crowded, so we do want to put, let's just put a large tavern in there, and we'll put maybe a manor in that part. And we've got things like foresters, which we could place plus 216 total change, so it would be nice to put in a forester maybe that place, and we can't have one there. But what I'm concerned with is we look over at food. We're on positive food, which is plus 512. However, it says 395 lost to exposure, and that's because this granary is already pretty much full, so we need another granary over here. So I'm going to place a granary in maybe there, and I don't think it's unfair to also maybe look at a granary around here, because at the moment this is, I mean, it's only got a small granary, which is a silly decision really. So I'm going to demolish the orchard as much as it pains me, and then we are going to put in another granary in here. Up this part, the granary is in, and it is getting towards full as well. So once again, I think another granary like that, and then we're going to place in some more food production areas like this, and maybe across there, even though all those bits are not connected to the windmill. It doesn't really matter. When I say connected, I mean surrounded by the windmill. Let's go ahead and put in said windmill like that. And like I said, there's little bits like these corner pieces here where we can just go to like advanced town and put in like reflecting pools, which would look quite nice. We've got statues of like, say, mounted knight. We're gonna say the mounted knight, which can go in there, and we can just place like, actually, no, that's fine where it is, because it's the mounted knight is near the jousting arena, so it does make sense. And then behind it we'll just place a little park like that, for example. Yay, where we're storing all of the the very flammable dried grain. Let's put a big flaming bucket down, essentially. Over these parts then, and we do have more areas for growing. I do think we can probably place an orchard in there. And like I said, just placing in things like statues. We've got like lions, which will go in. We don't need necessarily any of this, but it's just nice to have, and even just little gardens that go across like that. We're not going to, totally cover everything. That's not my intention at all, but I do want to do what I think is best for this, just to finish off. Let's put another windmill in like so, and then it's going to be farms just around like that, and that's perfectly fine. How we're doing for... Yeah, that's a problem. We've got a problem with iron. We have a negative armament, so I'm going to have to turn on one of these to produce some more stuff. But that says, yeah, look at that. No, they haven't got enough. They've got charcoal, and charcoal production is good, but we're not making enough armaments. We are only just making enough tools, but we're running out of iron. We've only got one source of iron, which is here. Okay. We do have a merchant. No, that's not a merchant. That's another thing there. We do have a diplomat, actually. So a message from the ruler, from King Crut. Yes, go on. Thank you very much for your help. The Vikings are a menace, but our people are safe thanks to your help. That concludes the message. What they're referring to there is we a number of years ago, I helped them defeat the Vikings, and as long as you do it once, that's sort of quest completed, tick the box. So yes, that's fine. This area here, there's a big open bit, but this is going to be our army staging ground. This is where we're going to keep our main force here. It's roughly in the centre, and we have good access around, so we can go up these roads, through this way, up across here. So there's many different places and ways we can go with things. And oh, I'm going to say chop wood there. That should have been a farm there. Yeah. But overall, the series has been fairly chill. I mean, it is Kingdoms Castles. On harder modes, it can be very challenging, but on this mode, it is enough challenge, but also still has a nice, fun, relaxing element to it. And obviously, we've faced off Viking attacks, which we have lost at some point. There's been times when people have been taken, sadly. We've had the dragon come and set fire to things. And obviously, we've met the neighbours, which originally we weren't really too sure about. But, everything has sort of come good in the end. Over to food and back to the farm. I'm going to place a farm in there. Let's see what we need. It says everyone has good access to most things apart from fish/pork. I'm thinking we can place another couple of swine herds around here. I don't know if we necessarily need more swine herds, but we're definitely going to place some in here. I don't know if we need it. Do we need to chop that bit? Yeah, just that bit there. And I also will put... do we need another mason? We're on 99%, and the only big gap is around here and around here. So we would benefit from a mason around these parts, and what we'll do is we're going to have a mason right there. So we'll chop wood down here. We also haven't got a... When it comes to fire, if we go over here, we've got the... Oh, is it in there? Or is it in here? Food. There's the mason. There's also a way to put out fires very quickly. Fire brigade, there it is. So there's a fire brigade. We haven't really got one around over here, certainly. We'll place one there. And we can place them in all manner of positions. I guess a fire brigade there wouldn't go amiss. No, it's not really around where people are, and that's where we want it to be placed, really, don't we? I guess we could place it... I'm going to place it... I'll place it there. That's exactly where it's going to go then. Oh, actually that makes more sense to place a mason over here. Although, no, we're actually okay for that. A mason would go in there quite nicely. Yeah. I'm going to place the mason here, which is the original idea. And then we'll look out for fire suppression stuff. Not that we have a great issue with that, but we might as well look into it. Apparently there's a lot of tree around here, and they're taking a while to cut it down, so it just means quality timber. There's that sorted. Over here we've got a big issue with the lack of maintenance on that, so we're going to place another one down. And then it was over this area, so I'm not too sure where I can even fit a mason, apart from maybe in this corner if we were to put in a pier, which we can do, and we will indeed do that. Let's just go back to the fire brigade, although I've probably lost it again. There it is. And we've got one going in there. We can place one around here if we were to chop a little bit of tree out, and we've got one. We could place it around here. Realistically, if we're going to have a fire brigade, it's going to be near here, isn't it, where all the charcoal is? That's probably where we're going to need one, so we will place the fire brigade in there. And that's good, so we'll chop that one down and, yeah, build across. I'm just going to double check to see how they're getting on with that one. They are getting on quite well with it. Do we have a fire brigade over here? I'm not too sure. Not too sure. We've got water, so I don't think we need that. In fact, I don't think we need a lot of what we're placing in, but it's about want rather than need. Once these trees are down, we'll place them in there. We're up to 2,116 people, and out of those, 218 are idle. They're doing nothing. So there's that in there. We'll come down to here. where we want in the road. And then we'll put in the mason, which hopefully will take care of these towers here. It makes sense that the tallest towers are the ones that are the most damaged. They're under the most stress, I guess. I guess the ones under the most stress are like the Norries here that the Vikings keep attacking, and I'm not too sure why. It is what it is. We're probably going to bring our forces over here, actually. We've got 3 years until the next Viking attack, and I do think this is probably where they're going to land. Speaking of land, we've got a merchant ship who's just arrived, so we'll see about that. Let me place the mason in like so, and we'll have a look at the merchant ship and see what they have. So, I'm going to buy, if they have it anywhere. No, sadly not. I was going to say I'm going to buy all of their... I mean, I can buy all the fish, and I'll buy all their tools as well. I'm just going to buy all of those because it's, like I say, iron is the main issue. Let me sell to them loads of stone and everything else, and some charcoal, and that's put us on a nice, decent amount. Okay, good. We're actually nearly maxed out there. Fine. So how we're coming along with building? Building is... It is getting there. We've got in there. I got that in there. There's a bit of a gap here. Do we need a mason back there? The fact that you just put a chapel back there. I mean, I could. Just secret chapel at the back. I don't think we've got a hospital. Actually, no, we do have one hospital. It's well, it's on the map somewhere. We definitely have one. It's just a case of where is it exactly? It's about is the best way to describe it. And oh, there's loads of food there. So what we're on plus 823. Money is also positive. Charcoal is positive. Positive armaments. Positive tools, but that's including the ones we've just bought. Stone is good, and technically iron is okay as well, and the diplomat is en route. So yeah, I mean, it is sort of the end of the series. Let's have a chat with these here. Message from the ruler. I think they've brought gifts. Greetings. Think of you recently and prepared the gift of, wow, about 40 of everything. Thank you so much. Our pleasure. It's very nice of them. I was going to say that, you know, this is the last episode of the series, or at least planned one. The only really expansion from here would be to take over the lands of our neighbours, but to be frank, they're so friendly and helpful that I think it would be very dishonest for us to go and attack them. I mean, I did mention we could go alternate timeline route, draw a line and say, yeah, this is actually what's happened, and then as an extra bonus do the attacking, but I don't think that would work out. Reason being, well, it wouldn't take much to train another 10 archers and 10 swords people. We've got over 250 people who are idle, and our how many more people can we have? Actually pretty much at capacity, but if we wanted to, we could easily make space for even more people. We could easily get up to 350 without any great issues by basically just putting in a couple of housing around here, maybe knocking some of these trees down and putting them around here. It wouldn't take much, put it that way, to get a force that could easily defeat the rest of them. So that's not the route we're going to go down. And the Vikings are invading, so I do think they're going to attack in the same position as before, which is over here where the Noria is. So we'll keep an eye out on things, and we can see that they have... Oh, actually, that might not be the case. They might be heading towards here. I guess the best course of action is to take our army and just bring them close to where the nearest... Oh yeah, I think that's where they're going to land. Where the nearest enemies are, and then if they do attack that way, then yeah, we know what's going to happen. I actually somewhat think I do want them to land there, because then the fire pit... Oh, the fire pits will... Oh, look at that! Okay. Those are ridiculously powerful. So, that is the Greek fire pot, but it looks basically like a flamethrower. You can't really see because of the army, but wow, that's brilliant. Are they going to fire again? It is. I think it is firing. You can't really see though, because our forces are meeting them head on. So they destroyed a castle block, but we've defeated at least 2 or 3 of the ogres. Oh, there's the flames. Wow. Yeah, that's indeed quite deadly. It does have a cooldown, though. Ah, not enough charcoal. Right, so you need a very strong supply of charcoal. And, well, there goes the Vikings. Oh! Wow, they actually took out the Greek firepot. And we have lost some knights. So we're going to retrain. So that's diplomats. Soldiers. 1, 2, 3, 4. Cancel. Hang on. 1, 2, 3, 4. And there we go. Right. Rebuild. We have lost, obviously, some units, and lots of stuff has fallen down. 9 negative happiness for the deaths of our troops, but plus 25 for the Vikings being destroyed, and plus 10 for the Proud's troops' valiant efforts in combat. There you go. So, overall, we have come out on top. But as I was saying, I don't intend to attack our neighbours. I think it would be quite easy to do that, and it would be against what we've done in the series. If there's a huge desire, let me know. If there's enough interest, we might do that, but I like the idea of leaving it on a friendly touch. But yeah, originally we started off, you can actually you can see quite easily the footprint, I believe. Let's just speed it up while we wait for the summer to come. So the original starting point was obviously this, and we built the town around it, and where we've got stuff growing and all of the manors. And this here, this wall, was the original wall that we put in. That we didn't even use wood. A lot of the time you go for wood walls and then up the stone. We went straight for stone because we had access to stone quite close. And then we expanded a couple of different ways. Got more stone over there. We got some more growing areas here. Started doing this sort of harbour type thing. And then we ended up sort of building up to this point where we built we built this line here, which goes to the end, and we put in the Norias and all of the aqueducts with the bathhouse, and that's when we started to do some of the more advanced stuff. So placing in theatres, which I don't think we've seen before. Great library, which we have done, and see all the research is completely completed there. Put in the jousting arena, which was new. Chapel and other things around there, which is nice. Then we did Bastion Island, and then we basically just went sort of clockwise around like this. And oh, that is on fire. Good job we have. There you go. We have a fire brigade ready and waiting to help out. But yeah, it's been an interesting one, and well, hopefully it's been interesting. It's something that we do tend to jump back on every couple of years and have a nice little series for. And this has been probably one of the biggest, certainly one of the biggest builds, and probably one of the biggest in terms of defense. You know, we've had a lot of fun building all of these walls, putting in the piers, working on that one. And we have different areas that, you know, if you look at the AI, it's a lovely looking city, and you know, it's got lots of interspersed buildings. You've got granaries, you've got orchards, you've got farms. That's next to the theatre, which in turn is next to, you know, an aqueduct, and then you've got like little cottages and such. And then you get a more built-up area at this area, which is just a big clump of houses with a tavern in the middle. We've got some contrasting builds over here. A massive defensive port here, where the Freyton Rumba Queen Lemon, they've got, I mean, what's that? 1, 2, 3, 4 minimum courses of stonework for their defense, but just this. So they've made essentially a sort of keep castle type thing, but then the rest of it is pretty much open with very few defenses, which is an interesting choice. There is some defense like over here, but yeah, they've maxed out their island, and as has the other person, in 2 different, you know, styles. And then obviously we've done something similar, which we obviously have the biggest island, but we took longer to build here. Whereas the rest of it, and when we've still got lots we can build, there's loads of forest here that we could exploit, but there's no real need to. I mean, we've got to a point where it's nice and completed. So yeah, overall, hope you have enjoyed the series. We are leaving it on a positive note. Everything apart from gold is in the positives, and the reason the gold is not in positives is because we are training lots of the, lots of the swordsmen here. So where are the other two? I was going to say we trained 4, so we'll bring those over. So yeah, we have an even bigger standing army than we started with. Lots of defenses, lots of amenities, happiness 100%, health is excellent. It's only a supply of fish / pork, which it makes it not go to 100%. And then we've got the odd bit of building structural integrity failures, but well, not too much of an issue. I mean, it's like literally 1 or 2 bits that that are broke. So yeah, and those will be repaired in time. But yeah, we're gonna call it there and leave it there for this bit of Kingdoms and Castles. Hope you have enjoyed the series and this little sort of recap at the end there. And if you want to see more of this sort of thing, then by all means let me know in the comments. Have any tips, comments, suggestions for titles to check out or builds like you see, then let me know. As always, hope you have enjoyed it. Thank you very much for watching. Take care and generic partings.